Hi, this is Kim Clark of the Education Writers Association. If you are researching or writing about any particular college, a group of colleges, or higher education in general, there's a great free database that lets you download all kinds of super useful statistics about more than 7,000 institutions of higher learning that serve Americans. This video is a quick introduction and a tutorial on how to start using IPEDS. That's the Integrated Post-Secondary Education Data System. It's a data set that is created by and housed by the U.S. Department of Education. If any college wants to deliver or award, let's say, federal student loans or federal grants, in return for that right, they have to fill out this very extensive survey that goes into IPEDS. One of the most useful uses of the IPEDS is to be able to compare lots of different colleges. So let's get started. The first thing you have to do, of course, is to find it. And we're just going to look at IPEDS.ed.gov. That's a good way to find it. I use DuckDuckGo for security reasons. Okay, we're going to IPEDS right here. Take a minute. Okay, we're going to use the data, so we're going to click on that. And we are going to compare institutions. You can see that over here you can look up a particular institution, but today we're going to compare institutions. We're going to look at several different colleges and compare them. Now, the first thing that you get is a little information about what dates the data is available for. And as you can see, if you click on the preliminary or provisional data, you get much more recent information. So we're going to do that today. If you're looking for historical data, you might want to go with the final release data. Okay, now, so far it's been pretty easy, but now comes the tricky part. So if you are looking up just one particular college, of course you enter the name, but since we're going to try to compare some colleges, we're going to go with the groups. Okay, now you can see there are many, many different ways to slice and dice your group. You can choose, let's say, by state. You can choose by region. You can choose by sector. And you can do all of these. You can choose, for, as we will do later, say public colleges in one particular state. You might want to choose only schools that issue, let's say, associate's degrees. You can use these really interesting classifications created by the Carnegie Institution, sort of, associate's degrees, associate's colleges that have lots of non-traditional students, or art schools. Or I think there's also some engineering schools, right? So there's a lot of different ways you can choose. You can choose just urban schools or rural schools. You can choose just online schools, and so you can see you can have a lot of different choices. For our experiment today, I think we'll choose just one state. Let's choose Georgia. Okay, and let's just choose public universities, public 4-year and above. Just for, not for any particular reason, just for random reasons. Just see what they have. Okay, now we're going to search these 30 institutions. And you can see they give us a list of the colleges that we're going to look at. And we're going to continue to select our variables. Right. Now, when you do make the selection, they give you as a variable the things you selected by, which isn't that useful because we know we only chose Georgia, and we know we only chose 4-year public schools, so we don't really care about those. So now they give you an idea of what variables you can choose. And you can see that there are lots of different options. You can look up lots of data about libraries, about the staff at the universities, about their finances, financial aid, outcome measures, graduation type and award type data, retention rates, different kinds of enrollment, the prices charged, admissions, and various institutional characteristics, like you can, again, get that information such as the Carnegie classification and so on. And then they have some sort of frequently used variables. Today, I think, just for our experiment, we'll try to look at the affordability of public colleges for the lowest income students. That would go under net price, so we're going to go over here. and we're going to look at net price. Okay, so you can see if you're comparing public and private schools, you have to download two different variables. I don't know why that is. It's kind of crazy, but it is. And you have to choose the time period for which you want the data. And we're going to choose the average net price for the lowest income student. Okay, so 0 to 30,000. And since Pell Grants pretty much go to people earning up to about 45,000, let's include this group too. Okay, so now we've done that, we can close that. I think that it would be a good idea to just see how many students we're talking about. So we're going to choose the percent number of students who receive Pell Grants and the percent, so to see if that's a high percent of each school. All right, we've chosen our time period, we've chosen our variables, and now we're going to continue. Okay, so now these are the 4 variables we are going to receive. We are going to hit continue. And you can see how you can get the data. Now, it's very important that you make sure that you download the institution name and what's known as the unit ID. There are a lot of different schools named Loyola, for example, and St. Mary's. The Department of Education awards each school a particular unit ID so that you can tell which Loyola we're talking about or which St. Mary's. You can also choose what kind of variable name you want your spreadsheet to have. I'm going to go with a long variable name, but short is also fine, but let's go with long. So we're going to download it, and we're going to save it, of course. Okay, now I've downloaded it. Okay, so now we get a handy little spreadsheet, and we're going to make it so we can read the variables. Okay, so the percentages here, you can see they don't put it in percentages. It's kind of annoying, but let's put this in dollar amounts. Okay. And let's sort it and see who is the most affordable public colleges for low-income kids in Georgia. Okay, so let's do this. Okay, so you can see that for the lowest income kids from families whose parents earn less than $30,000 a year, there are a lot of schools that have a price less than the average student loan. Now remember, the net price is the price tuition fees, room and board, etc., minus any grants. It does not subtract out loans or work study. So these prices right in here, a student could earn or could take out a federal Stafford loan to cover these costs. As you know, a freshman can only borrow up to $5,500, and maybe they could earn, $2,000 to $3,000 over the summer or during the year. So $7,500 is pretty much the most a student who doesn't have any money can probably pay for college without, taking out private loans. And as you can see, there are a lot of schools, such as Armstrong State University, where the net price for students is shockingly high. I mean, remember, these families only earn $30,000, and this school is expecting them to pay more than half of their family's income for 1 year of college. So some colleges are really not affordable for this lowest income group. And you can see, at this school, a lot of students are probably struggling, since 45% of them do qualify as low income. So this is an example of the kind of information you can get using IPEDS. I hope this was found useful. If you have any more questions about how to use IPEDS, you can contact me at kclark@ewa.org.